I'm back to go over that platform that we had just discussed. The platform that I had presented in my last video that explains why we're going with a closed circuit platform, why there's some additional costs that are related to it, and the reason we went with the closed circuit program. So I wanted to show you what this platform is going to look like for the customer. I'm just going to go back to the beginning of my presentation. So what it looks like for the customer and what it's going to look like for you as an exhibitor. So just to recap on why we went with this program, it's going to allow us to really control our environment and where the visitors are going around and collect some really important data. So I'll start from the beginning. How this is going to work is we're still going to have that Shopify account that I already explained in the past, which is where customers will be able to do all their transactions, all their purchases in one transaction. So that's going to be set up the same way. Now, this platform, we're going to have a marketing campaign asking people to register for the Golf Expo. It's going to be free, but they must register in advance so we can create their profile. Once we create their profile, they're going to receive an email link that is going to allow them into the Golf Expo the week of the Golf Expo. There'll be a campaign behind it. There's going to be some notifications. There's going to be some education that's going to be sent out to the visitors. But this is what it's going to look like once they've registered. So they're going to show up on a home page where they're going to put in their credentials that they received and what they registered with. So their name and their password. Now, what's important to know is that they created this. It's how we're going to collect data so we know who's on the platform, who's visiting the Golf Expo. So once they log in, they're going to show up to what I'd like to call kind of like the meeting hall entrance, if we want to call it that, or the welcoming room. So it's very similar to what you would see in a live setting. So we're going to have an image there. Let's say this is Place Forzani. You have a booth, a kiosk, welcome, similar to what we do live. And now these images that you see here on the screen, there's going to be up at the top, there's going to be a video that welcomes the visitors and explains how to get to the next places. So as you can see here, there's some images on the side. These images are clickable, and this is where people are going to get where they need to go. There's basically two places that they actually need to go. One is to the exhibitor hall, and two is to the live streaming, which is where we're going to stream our content, which is the clinics, the conferences, the interviews, and all that. So from our live stage. But more important for you is the exhibitor hall and the floor plan. The floor plan is an interactive floor plan that you can zoom in and zoom out on. So I'm going to go, let's say, for argument's sake, the person clicks on it and it takes them to the floor plan. So here we have the floor plan. It can be any floor plan. I'm going to create it similar to what we have at Place Forzani because visually it looks like a conference hall and people are used to that. So we have our floor plan. We have all our exhibitors below and you can see the number of the booth. You can click on it, zoom in, zoom out, see the logo. All those things are really neat because it makes it more interactive. If the visitor would like to find someone in a different category, they can filter by category or they can search up your name directly. So a few ways to get to where they're going quickly. Now, let's say we click on an exhibitor and it takes us to now what is your virtual booth. Now, I say an essentially virtual booth because when you're at the live Golf Expo, you have a booth set up, you have some images, and you can speak to the customers. This is exactly what we can do on this platform. So your logo will be over here. You have your social media accounts that we can link to your social media accounts. This image here, it could either be a static image or a video, or images that are converted into a video so you can have multiple images scrolling through. And then we have a room below for our information, some text. We're actually going to have some images here with links that shop now, for example, or visit our website. Those are going to be, they're all pretty much going to be standard, but it'll be in that space. And then over to the right, we have our virtual table. So if you can imagine yourself sitting at a table, a round table, you're there and there's 8 other chairs that are empty. And people are going to show up, sit down, have a conversation with you. So as if you were at your booth, you're standing at the front of your booth, and people come to see you and they talk to you, and they some people will talk and some people interact, some people will just listen. You can do this with up to 8 people at a time, and they can turn on their cameras and videos, and your camera and video will be active, so you can talk to the visitors the same way you would live. Now, like I said, 1 table, 8 people. We can add tables, but it's not integrated in the system. That we have to look at extra cost for that. But the basic model we're talking about allows you to speak to 8 people at a time, or you can even reduce that number. We can cap it if you like. If you only want 4 people around the table, we can do that. We can't go higher than the 8 people though. So it's going to be up to you. How would you like to kind of define your space, your booth? So I'm just going to go to the next one. Here you can see what it would look like. So people sitting around the table, your logo in the middle, and then here you have a chat function. So you could speak to people live with the camera, or you can chat with them, because not everyone's going to have a camera. Not everyone is going to feel comfortable on a platform opening up their camera or their mic, so they can chat with you and you can chat back. 1 table, 1 representative, 1 camera. Now, we're not expecting everybody to be live all the time. And in that space that we talked about before, I'll just come back right down here, we can put in the hours that you are going to have somebody available. So if you want to be available from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we can put it in there. So when people visit your booth outside regular hours, well, they'll know that you're going to be live from 9 to 11 only. So to come back and see you then. Now, these are all really fun features, and it makes it so much more similar to a live on-site golf expo. But the reason we went with this platform and to make it interactive is not only the fun part of making it interactive, but it's also because of the data collection. So if we bring you back to the beginning where I logged in, and I'll get there. So log in. As soon as that login is active, the system traces each step that the customer takes. So for example, if I go here and then I go to the floor plan and then I go to the your booth, we can track all those steps. Now, when the person is registering, when we have our campaign to register everyone, there's going to be 2 questions that are going to be mandatory to respond to. One that says, we approve, I authorize you to send me, I authorize the Golf Expo and its sponsors to send me emails regarding the Golf Expo, or I do not authorize you. And then the second question is, I authorize you to share my email information with all the exhibitors I visited during the show, or I do not authorize you to. So everyone that says they authorize us, and it's not going to be the majority, but there's going to be some that authorize us to share that information with you, if they visited your booth, you're going to get that email. And that email now goes into your database, and what I highly recommend you do is do not bombard them with sales pitch right away. I would take that email and say, thank you for visiting us at the Golf Expo. We hope you found what you were looking for. If you did not, please reach out to us. Please contact us. Or if you just want to stay up to date with current information about our golf course or our hotel, whatever your product is, please join our newsletter. Here's the link. By doing that, they are explicitly joining your email list, and it's an active client. So now you actually have someone that's really interested in your product in your database, and you can market to that person. If you bombard them right away, they could easily unsubscribe and not stay in your database, and you can lose that customer. And on the flip side, someone that accepts to opt in again into your database, you know that that's a customer that's intrigued in your product, and that person will be interested in what you're sending them. So that's one of the major components about all this. And the other is the data collection on the tracing the customers, their actions. So to give it a more concrete example, if you have 10,000 people visit your booth, 500 of those people interact with you. 200 of those people click on Shop Now and go to your profile. And of those 200 people, 15 people buy your product. Well, you can see that the conversion rate is very low. So they're interested in your product initially because 10,000 people visited you. 500 were actually interacting with you. And then 200 said, I'm going to go and buy something. But when they got there, only 15 bought. that means your conversion rate is very low. So it gives you something to think about. Is the price too high for what it is? There's plenty of reasons, and you would need to analyze that. On the flip side, if you have 10,000 people that visit, 5,000 actually click on the link and go to the or interact with you and then go to the shopping link. And of those 5,000, 4,000 buy. Great news, you have a lot of money in the bank, but your conversion rate is extremely high. What does that mean? That the price may be too low, and therefore people are seeing it as a steal, and they're buying it just because the price outweighs the value. So that's going to be another reflection for you. But having that data is what's going to allow you to manage your business throughout the summer and adjust your pricing in the future and kind of adjust your price to the demand. So having that information is extremely important. So those are the reasons why we went with this platform, is to be able to give you the closest experience to an online golf expo as possible, a live golf expo as possible, and also data collection. So there is the additional cost we spoke about. It's $375, but in addition to what we had spoke about, and I apologize for having to do that. But it is a decision that we didn't take lightly, and we knew how important it was for you to have the right data. And to have the right data, we needed to make sure we had the right platform to make sure that we could give you all that data. So as you can see, you have your virtual booth. Now, a little bit different from what you did in the past, where you'd have to come in and prepare your booth. We're going to be doing that for you. So myself mostly, and I will probably have somebody help me set up your booth. So we're going to collect all the information that we need from you. We're going to give you specifications on images and whatnot. We can help crop you with those, crop them out and fit everything. But we're going to prepare your booth for you. So basically what you will need to do as an exhibitor is be in your booth to speak to customers. Now, what if you don't have somebody that can be in your booth and you do not want to, or you just can't? Not a problem. We had already mentioned that it would be great to do a video, a Golf Expo video. We can host it on the site. So that will be your presentation. Or you can do both. Have a video, so when people come to the booth and you're not there, you can't speak to them live, no problem. They can watch the video. You can also just put in the hours that you're going to be available. So if you're going to be available from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., no problem. Let's put that in the description. A rep will be available from these times. And that way when they come, because they're going to have access to this 24 hours, but they'll know when you are live. All right. So I'll just go here, and it's kind of a recap of what we're looking at, your booth, and where they can go. So in this space on the bottom, we're going to have a link that's going to go to the Shopify account. We're going to have a link to your website. We're going to have a link to your social media accounts. And this here, where you see the housing right now, that would be a static image, rotating images as a video, or your video presentation. So, and with your logo on the side. And here is your table where you'll be speaking to people. So it's an interactive experience. It's a highly professional experience, and it's going to allow us to be equipped to give you information that is really 2021 in the sense that we are taking the technology and using it in the right way. We're not just putting out information and hoping people are going to be buying. You can actually do some data analytics afterwards. So that's where we are. This last slide, I just wanted to show you, this is what the live feed is going to look like. So it's going to be a full screen and people can see it from our studio. We have 4K, four different camera angles. It's all high definition. We have technicians and a full console. So it's a very, very professional studio that we're putting together. So the content is going to be highly professional and very high quality. So people are going to be able to join us there. So recap, this software, this platform is going to allow us help you have a great experience, collect data, collect analytics. It's going to give the users a very intuitive experience, and for us as Golf Expo organizers, we can control this environment. So you may have questions, you may have concerns. Please reach out to me, call me, send me an email. I can help you through this. I understand that there may be a little bit of frustrations that originally we had announced one pricing, but it evolved because we were trying to evolve this into something that made sense for everybody. And the only way we can evolve is if we use the right technology. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be happy to walk you all through this, and note that I'm going to be helping you all every step of the way and making sure that you have a successful Golf Expo. All right, everyone, thank you for watching. I look forward to speaking with you. Please reach out and have a great day.